What is up, guys? This is Chase Oliver here for CO Live, and I'm kind of pissed off that my CO Live account still doesn't have. I'm not able to upload 15 minutes or more, and I really do not understand why. I'm pretty sure I have content that got viewed by a lot of people. Hell, I have a freaking video on here that got viewed by 1,000 people. I don't get how that's not good enough to give me 15 minutes. How many more videos do I have to make to get 15 minutes on this channel? So I have to redo this. The other videos that I did for this series of video game reviews they're under 15 minutes. So I talked about how I filmed these back to back to back. Well, it makes sense if you saw my first video, the original video that got uploaded. But it won't make sense when you see future. So just know when you see the sequel to this game that I'm reviewing, just know that I filmed those back to back, and that originally the first review was filmed back to back to back. Yeah, pretty much what I gotta say there. So the game I'm going to be reviewing will be Kingdom Hearts, and I'll be reviewing the whole Kingdom Hearts series up to the final one that was released recently, which is Recoded. I'm not going to do Coded. I mentioned that in my Kingdom Hearts 2 review when that gets put up there. So yeah, let's get started on this. So the reason why I chose Kingdom Hearts to be the first video game that series that I review on this channel, well, the reason being is Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite games of all time. Kingdom Hearts entered the world of Final Fantasy, which I was sort of a fan of, and Disney, which I was a huge fan of, and combined those together and almost made a very, very good, like, it was different, and I was interested in it. It made like a very, very good style of RPG. It almost made like a weird sense of great story in it, and it really showed a different side of both genres, because when people first heard about Final Fantasy and Disney fucking fusing, people were like, no, this can't happen. Final Fantasy is known for, and this is the truth, and Final Fantasy is known for deep story, depressing matters, serious nature. It's very serious, depressing, and stuff. That's what Final Fantasy is normally known as. While Disney is all about being happy, having fun, doing a good time, this game right here, Kingdom Hearts, it really ties in the mixtures of both of those, and it shows that Disney characters can be serious and dark too, while Final Fantasy characters can show a humorous side toward them, and such oh whoa, and such is shown because most of the bad guys that you face in this game, most of the main villains, the main bosses, are Disney villains like Ursula, Maleficent, Hades, Jafar. List of guys that could be really, really dark and that have been known to be really, really dark in the Disney games and Disney in general are the darkest people you can be and are just as dark as some of the Final Fantasy villains. And really, it's cool because Kingdom Hearts really follows what those movies or TV shows of Disney was all about. Sure, you get the levels like Winnie the Pooh where there's nothing going on but just mini games, but when you go to worlds, it is really cool seeing the way that these worlds are made and how closely fit that they try to do in this game to fit them right with the movie. When you played Aladdin, it felt just like the movie, minus the fact that you never did anything with Aladdin before he had the genie. It really did fit in the movie. Little Mermaid, I thought they did a great job on that level. That really, really did fit what the Little Mermaid was all about. And sure, you didn't get to see John, the Little Mermaid's love interest, but you still got to feel the story of Ariel wanting to be going to another world, and it was really cool. So, what are some good and what are some bad for Kingdom Hearts? The good of Kingdom Hearts to me, I think that the characters in Kingdom Hearts, they're likable, and some of them can get just really, really annoying sometimes. But other than that, I think every character has a right sense of development. You see the development of the main character, Sora, who gets partnered up with Donald Duck and Goofy. I know that sounds fucking ridiculous that some kid gets partnered with these two Disney characters, but it shows development between them and their relationship, development of Riku, Sora's best friend, and the development of Kairi, Riku and Sora's best friend, and all that razzmatazz. Get development with them. The worlds are awesome too. Each world is probably very unique, and for its time, in the year of 2002, I believe when this game came out, keep this in mind. This was one of my first RPGs I played with Final Fantasy characters. My first Final Fantasy RPG that I played and completed was Final Fantasy IX, So I got a kick when I saw Leon in the first level. I was like, oh my god, I gotta go against Squall. I was freaking out because I had to go against Squall, and I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't think I was ready to face Squall. Man, dude, he's too tough. And it was just wow. It was just cool seeing these characters and how they interact with each other. I really did like the world in this game, and how the worlds make you adjust to where you are. Like when you go to Halloween Town, you have to wear like a Halloween costume. When you go to Neverland, you get to fly later in the part of in the later part of that level. When you get to, I believe it's called the Atlantica for Little Mermaid, you get to swim. You have the ability to swim, and it really causes you to change gameplay and game format. And I really do like that. That was a good plus for Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has a lot of good things coming out of it, but every good there is a bad. And the bad things in Kingdom Hearts, well, some of them are kind of minor to me, but for me when I'm reviewing a video game, I like to pick out a lot of stuff. Just like when you see me do my wrestling reviews, I like to pick out stuff. Sometimes I think what the game does good when it's with its map construction, it does bad when it comes down to finding a way to get through these levels. Sometimes these levels can be really, really fucking annoying. And what I mean is, if you do not pay attention to most of the simple dialogue in this game, you could easily, and I mean easily, get lost in this game. What do I mean by that? In this game, they don't give you maps. So, pretty much what you're doing is, you're walking around trying to find where you're supposed to go. And sometimes these levels, like Deep Jungle, aka Tarzan's place, can be confusing as hell. You could be walking around thinking, oh, I'm doing a good job. How do I activate the next story point? And you won't know how to activate the next story point because they don't give you a definitive map and then tell you, oh, this guy has to do this. And it's like, what the fuck do you have to do here? It's just so confusing sometimes where you don't know where you got to go. You just have to guess, and sometimes you really need to pull out like a GameFAQs or a strategy guide to say where the fuck do I have to go, or pull in a walkthrough on YouTube. Sometimes it just gets really confusing trying to find these maps and trying to navigate through them. But the worlds are cool to look through. They're awesome to go through, and there's a lot of cool secret stuff. And some of the secret stuff you get to face are like characters that Disney themselves made up, that Final Fantasy made up. You get to face the also ever popular Sephiroth. Everyone loves Sephiroth in the Final Fantasy community, right? You get to face the Ice Titan, the Rock Titan. It's pretty cool with the bosses you get to face in this game. The main enemies in this game are the Heartless, creatures that take hearts from people. And yeah, pretty much there. What other bads come from Kingdom Hearts? One thing I do not like about Kingdom Hearts, though, and this is my all honesty, what I do not like about Kingdom Hearts, is the leveling up. Now, many Final Fantasy fans can probably agree with me. The leveling up in Kingdom Hearts is very basic. As in, the only thing you get to really upgrade yourselves are AP, and that's it. Where you can edit what moves Sora, Donald, and Goofy can use at their arsenal. You cannot edit Sora's attack stats no matter what, only if you get equipment to improve his attack, or his defense stats, or any of that matter. You're basically having to level up and you get whatever stat they give you, which pisses me off. Because in the early point of the game, you will have to, not have to, but you will choose, well, pretty much you have to. Fuck it. You have to choose between whether you want strength, defense, or magic. And it's really like, okay, I'll take strength and I'll get rid of magic. You won't level up in defense for like 10 levels. And it pisses you off because soon later part of the game, the enemies start getting stronger, you start getting weaker, and you may think, oh, I have like fucking 32 attack, that's good enough. Then you get into this one level and it's like, this is easy. And then later on you keep on dying, it's like, damn, I need more defense. Put on all these defense equipment, hoping, and then start grinding for like no reason. You start grinding, you start doing level grinds, you start getting all these attack and magic boosts, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's cool, where's my defense boost? You finally get one, it's like, I only got one defense boost, and I gained 5 fucking levels? It's really annoying, and sometimes it really throws you off a little bit. To be honest, I just don't like the leveling up that much in Kingdom Hearts 1, because it just feels like, man, I'm boosting up all these stats, and yeah, I will have a bunch of attack to kill enemies in 2 hits, but bosses I can't kill in 2 hits. I gotta freaking train my asses off for these bosses. So sometimes I think the leveling up is not very that good for this video game. But nonetheless, Kingdom Hearts did do a good thing and started off a very popular genre in the YouTube world and overall just perspective of video games. And many people are anticipating Kingdom Hearts 3. And I feel Kingdom Hearts' story, although it can be way over the top and I feel they just add bullshit because they can, is actually pretty good. And I'm talking about the whole series. I'm not talking about just this game right here. The whole series. Actually, it's the saga. It's called the Xehanort Saga. I think they have a pretty good story. It just feels kind of over the top sometimes, and it's just like, that's what I get from it. But overall, if I were to grade the first ever Kingdom Hearts, what would I give this game? I would probably give it a solid A-. The reason being is the way it introduced the Kingdom Hearts series, the way it started out, the battle systems, everything about it. I feel the battle systems, where it's just a hack and slash and there is some strategy involved, it's very fun. Hell, there's a lot of strategy involved, especially when you get into the later levels and you face later bosses. I really do like this game. If you guys haven't played this game, check it out. And I will be uploading all the video games that have been out by now, reviewing all of them. I played all of them. I've enjoyed most of them. Oh god, I burnt my sleep. But I'll be reviewing them, and then in the final closings, I'll make a Kingdom Hearts series review where I do spoilers, because in these reviews, I'm not going to try to spoil anything of the main plot. That's more my final thoughts on the Kingdom Hearts series. And if you guys have any other series, like, for example, it could be a movie series. It can be like Jak and Daxter. It can be like Ratchet and Clank. I'm just naming shit off the top of my head. Just ask me, and once I finish up this series, maybe I'll go on and continue doing those series and reviewing those and talk about them. So anyways, this is CO Live videos. Comment down below your thoughts on the original Kingdom Hearts. Subscribe above if you haven't liked or disliked this video. This is Chase Oliver. Check out my main channel, Chase Oliver 68. Friend me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. See y'all.